Hello, hello, hello! My name is Kara Forfinski. Welcome to the Spread the Vote Cabaret! We are all currently juniors getting our BFA in acting and are members of the touring musical theater ensemble Motor City Cabaret.
As a group, we are passionate about social justice, and we aim to use our privilege and voices for the voiceless members of our communities. We believe in the power of peace and unity, and we want to be able to share that with the people around us. As actors, we get to share that belief through what we love to do most: perform.
We are excited to be introducing an organization we are passionate about called Spread the Vote. STV addresses the issues that fall between voter registration and voter turnout. They help their clients obtain IDs virtually, make voter guides for first-time voters, and find the safest methods to get voters to the polls. Helping people get IDs also opens doors for jobs, housing, medical care, food, shelter, and on Election Day, the chance to vote. You can donate to Spread the Vote through the link on the screen and on their website, www.spreadthevote.org.
To stay connected to the ever-shifting political climate of our nation and act as allies to the members of our communities, we look back to the roots of our education: Schoolhouse Rock. Join us while we sing through some catchy songs I hope get stuck in your head that started it all.
Growing up, my favorite thing about class was watching Schoolhouse Rock videos. My favorite song was The Great American Melting Pot because it's such a beautiful celebration of how America came to be. We all come from somewhere. We should be so proud of the effort it took for all of our ancestors to come here and should then celebrate our individuality together. In the song, it says, "How great to be an American and something else as well." I'm an American with a really diverse cultural background, and I love having a piece of so many different cultures in my DNA. What a beautiful thing to celebrate! Let's not forget to do that as a country. Here is The Great American Melting Pot, written by Lynn Ahrens. My grandmother came from Russia, a satchel on her knee. My grandfather had his father's cap he brought from Italy. They'd heard about a country where life might let them win. They paid their fare to America, and there they melted in. Lovely Lady Liberty, with her book of recipes, and the finest one she's got is the Great American Melting Pot, the Great American Melting Pot. They brought their country's customs, their language, and their ways. They filled the factories, tilled the soil, helped build the USA. Go on and ask your grandma, see what she has to tell. How great to be an American and something else as well. Lovely Lady Liberty, with her book of recipes, and the finest one she's got is the Great American Melting Pot, the Great American Melting Pot, the Great American Melting Pot, the Great American Melting Pot.
We're taking a quick break to welcome anyone who is just tuning in and mention Spread the Vote. The organization that we are singing for today helps people get the necessary identification for voting and other civic duties. Spread the Vote stands by an ID today is a vote tomorrow, as we approach the biggest election yet. They strive to increase voter participation in America because our democracy depends on it. You can donate to their website at www.spreadthevote.com.
Don't forget to donate! From watching Conjunction Junction and the preamble on my dad's iPod on car rides, to finding a way to put, "Hooray, I'm for the other team," into a joke around the dinner table, I have always loved Schoolhouse Rock. The music helped me remember things and made me feel connected to the lessons in school that I was learning. Not to mention, my dad's a pretty big fan too. I used to sing electricity, electricity on the blacktop during recess and feel pretty cool that I knew some songs that some of my friends didn't. Schoolhouse Rock has always felt like home and always will, and I'm pretty proud to say that I know a lot of the words. So it's no surprise that I was over the moon when I got the chance to interview Scott Ferguson, co-writer and director of Schoolhouse Rock Live and Schoolhouse Rock Live 2. Check it out.
So my name is Scott Ferguson, and I am the writer, creator of the show Schoolhouse Rock Live, which is super fun. Schoolhouse Rock was something I grew up with as a child. It was super popular in the 70s. It started in 1973, I believe, and it was, on every Saturday morning in between cartoons. And back in those days, when we didn't have computers or games and all that, we would watch TV. That's what you did on Saturday, every Saturday morning. So I grew up loving them. And when I was in college, just out of college, probably close to your age, I had a party and I was at Blockbuster Video because, back then, same thing, Blockbuster, who knew? And I thought it would be fun to have some sort of video playing during the party, like music and stuff. And I saw the Schoolhouse Rock cartoons on video. And I was like, oh God, that would be hilarious fun because everyone grew up with them that is my age. So at the party, I put them on and everyone was like, and sat around the TV for like so long at the party singing all the songs and just laughing and having such a good time. That's when I got the idea. I was like, oh my God, we should make a live version of these songs and take it to kids today, because at that point it had been off the air for quite a while. They took it off the air in the 80s, and so I thought that would be a great thing to do. So that's what I did. We wrote a show. It took me 2 years to get permission from the creators and from ABC, Disney, who owns it. And when they finally, literally a couple years of writing letters, and finally one morning I got a call from George Newell, who's one of the original creators. George Newell and Tom Yohe were the creators of the series. And I got a call from him. He's like, Scott, this is George Newell. And I was like, oh. He's like, so you want to do a live version of the songs? And I was like, yeah, we want to do a musical. And he went, okay. And that was it. So we, after all these years, like the next day, started calling around. I set up auditions and we got cast and rehearsed and opened, and it ran for 5 years in Chicago. And then we took it to New York and it ran for a year, and then now it's available for everyone to do. And hundreds of schools have done it. It's super fun.
So thank you. I have a couple questions. One of them is, because you decided to translate this onto the stage, do you believe in the longevity of it and that it's timeless? And what was your idea of why it should become a show as opposed to, I don't know, you're revamping it, but you were like, we're going to do it the right way. And so do you believe that it is a timeless thing and it's for all ages?
100%. I mean, it has been, we opened in 1993 and it is still going strong. We toured it to schools for 20 years. And it's one of those things where there was a huge generation, there's about 10 years when it was on TV, that those kids at that time, it was ingrained. It was just ingrained. And, there's different types of learning, right? So people learn in different ways. You can learn visually, you can learn auditorily, like through music, through dance, through, kinesthetically, and people learn differently. And these cartoons and these songs are a great way to remember things. And so everyone remember the lyrics from growing up. And like every time this is in the show, but like you would have your 8th grade constitution test and you had to write down the preamble, and everyone in the class was literally singing it. Like that's how we learned it. And so singing the song, like the math songs and all that stuff. One of the first things children learn is their ABCs, and it's because of tune and rhythm that they remember it, right? So that's why it has longevity, and not only because of the music, which is the real reason, but the cartoons. They're super fun and cute, and most of them are very 70s style, which is super fun. And what happened is those kids that grew up with it then were young adults when we opened the show. And then those young adults became parents and teachers. And so they use it in the classrooms and use it at home and play. And so I think it's just going to go on and on and on. It's just super fun. And all of the topics are never going to go away.
Yeah.
So, there's a couple of things that are not so PC, and we changed those in the show. But what are you going to do?
Right.
So,
do you think that we should be re-implementing these in the classroom more now because it's at our fingertips on the internet?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Honestly, yes. If there are teachers dealing with how do I keep a class of 9-year-olds actively engaged via the computer, why not do something like that, like a cartoon? That's something fun. So I would think it would be a very easy visual way to help kids learn, and something easy to do, like you said, on the internet. So I just feel like it is gonna live on. I'm certainly hoping that nothing happens. I mean, theater, I don't know what's going on with theater. It's obviously, it is gone for now, and will slowly come back within the next couple of years, I think. I'm a director, that's what I do. And so I was supposed to be directing a show in May, and that obviously got canceled. We've rescheduled to do it in March, but I don't even know if that's going to happen. It's still not good. But the company, Music Theater International, that licenses the show, they have, we agreed to, and so did ABC Disney, to allow for streaming rights. So people, for example, if they did the show, so if there was a school that did the show last year and they recorded it, they are able to now stream it online so that people can watch it, or like buy a virtual ticket to see it or whatever. So hopefully that will help raise some money for schools or whatever they need to do. And then they're also going to be able to do performances of it. You can buy a license to do a visual, an online performance of the show, which is kind of cool. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Things are changing. They
Sure are.
It's great that you're part of that change. So I know the theater world appreciates that.
Awesome.
What is your favorite Schoolhouse Rock song?
Oh my goodness. That's a hard one. Honestly, I think one of my favorites is Zero My Hero. It was the very first Schoolhouse Rock song to be written. Bob Duro wrote that song when they came up with the idea to do it, and they were going to do a series of multiplication tables. That's how the idea came across. It was an advertising executive whose son couldn't memorize the math tables or whatever, multiplication tables. So he thought, well, let's make songs about them. So that's where the whole idea came from. And so it's a kind of a ballady song, and it's so sweet. And in the show, it has a really sweet message. So that one I sort of love. And then, of course, I love Conjunction Junction. I'm Just a Bill. I mean, who doesn't? They're awesome songs.
Sure. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Again, I know I've said it a few times, but thank you. We appreciate
My pleasure.
your time. I find this so interesting. I'm geeking out a little bit.
Oh, I love that. Well, you guys are going to kill it. I'm so excited for you. It sounds like such a great project. It's really cool.
A great big thank you to Scott Ferguson for letting me chat with him about this. Like he mentioned in the interview, I too would sing the government-based Schoolhouse Rock songs while taking my tests at middle school. Am I embarrassed? A little, but I smile and laugh at those memories all the time. I always knew the answer to the Jeopardy questions, and I could write out the entire preamble on the back of my test if I needed to. In order to pay homage to those memories, here is a curated video of the preamble written by the founding fathers, but also Lynn Ahrens. Is that on? Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's on. Hi! Hi, everyone. My name is Miss Forfinsky. Welcome to my class. Today we are learning about the Constitution.
Hey, do you know about the USA? Do you know about the government? Can you tell me about the Constitution? Hey, learn about the USA.
In 1787, I'm told our founding fathers did agree to write a list of principles for keeping people free. The USA was just starting out, a whole brand new country. And so our people spelled it out, the things that we should be. And they wrote these things down on paper and called it the Constitution. And it's been helping us run our country ever since. The first part of the Constitution is called the Preamble and tells us what our founding fathers set out to do. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of the liberty. To ourselves and our posterity do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
We're taking a quick break to welcome anyone who is just tuning in and mention Spread the Vote, the organization that we are singing for today that helps members of society get the necessary identification for voting and other civic duties. Spread the Vote stands by an ID today is a vote tomorrow as we approach the biggest election yet. They strive to increase voter participation in America because our democracy depends on it. You can donate to their website at www.spreadthevote.com.
I don't think anyone can deny that Schoolhouse Rock is timeless for so many generations. I think it's so cool that growing up I would sing along to the music videos and my dad would be able to join in with me and know all of the words too. I'm Just a Bill is not just a personal favorite of mine, but it feels so significant right now. Working on this cabaret and revisiting all of the government and history-related tunes reminded me of when times didn't feel so tense, when it was just listening to goofy songs because you were curious and because you wanted to learn about the country. It's a way of reminding me, as an American, that it is so important to stay educated and involved, even though it can be a lot more stressful and worrisome than a talking Bill singing to himself while waiting to be signed by the president. So with this performance, I hope you, the audience, can find a calming deep breath in you somewhere and remember why it is so important we educate ourselves, participate, and vote. And now, an acoustic performance of I'm Just a Bill, written by Dave Frischberg, featuring Adam Della Vecchia on the guitar. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be along someday. At least I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law, and how I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well then I'm off to the White House where I wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign, and if he signs me then I'll be a law, and how I hope and pray that he will, but today I am still just a bill.
Right on, Julia. We hope you enjoyed our voting-themed cabaret brought to you by Wayne State's Motor City Cabaret. If you enjoyed our performance and feel inspired, whether it's as an artist or an American, remember that you have the power to go to the polls and make a difference. Our life depends on it.
Please log on to spreadthevote.com and consider donating to this amazing organization, Hope your fellow Americans have access to the correct information and materials they need to make their voice heard.
We really appreciate everyone coming out and being a part of something not only artistic and fun, but for a good cause. We hope we have inspired you in the ways that we musical theater students know how, by making some noise. We hope you will make some noise of your own and spread the vote!